My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. I'm going to provide another tutorial on how to file a complaint with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And this is very easy to do. Anybody can do it. It just takes a matter of a few moments. So if you go to www.scjc.texas.gov, this is the SCJC is a State Commission on Judicial Conduct at texas.government. You come to this website. Welcome to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct online. And it's a very easy site to navigate through. It comes down to public information. If you want to file a complaint against a judge that you have witnessed violate one of the canons of judicial conduct or violate the Constitution or whatever, you just go to public information. You come down here to the complaint form, and it will draw you up to, and it will take you right to the complaint form. Now here is where you're going to have to put down your submitter information, the judge, the case information, attorney information, stuff like that, witness details. What I do, I already have one filled out, so I'm just going to go over to that, and that is over here on the complaint form. You'll see that my submitter information is Jeffrey S. Morgan. I will add that date of birth, the address, and stuff like that. I am from Dallas, Texas. Everybody knows that. Email, date, and phone number. Now, the judge information, it's important that you know which judge that you're filing against. So in this type of court, it was a district court. You have a number of courts to choose from. I chose district court in Travis County because that's where the hearing was being held, in the 419th District Court. And once you pull these things up, you'll find that you'll have a number of judges that you can select from. The judge who violated her canons of judicial conduct and also the Constitution of the state of Texas, and the backgrounds and legal standards that she was supposed to hold up to, allowing the public access to the hearings during the COVID-19 pandemic. Her name was Catherine Mauzy, so I'll select her. The case information, if I went back and I listened to the recording of the case information, I did record that. It's FM 153596. The case standing is currently pending. For the attorney information, I put down pro se, for this is the person that was representing himself, Mr. Taran Champagne, and the rest of the stuff is address and so on. We can fill in later. City and state, his email, date, and phone number. The opposing attorney details. This was Daryl Weinman. And Daryl Weinman is a family law attorney or an anti-family law attorney. She is an attorney of destruction, family destruction industry, divorce attorney. But obviously I have already filled at least one complaint against her because as I started to enter the details, everything came up and kind of pre-filled in. So Daryl Weinman is at 8200 North Mopac Expressway, Suite 230 in Austin, Texas. All of this information is down there. When it comes down to the witness information, I put down myself, and I will again fill this up later on. This will be, of course, in Texas, and I'll put down my city here for right now. I'll fill out the rest of this afterwards. What did this person witness? So you don't get a lot of characters to type in here. It kind of surprised me. I thought we had a little bit more space to write something down. So what I did is I just put down that I and many others witnessed Judge Mauzy deprived the public of their right of access to the courts and deprived Taran Champagne of his right to a public trial. A video recording of the event is located at, and I provided the YouTube link. The reason that I put some of these videos online is because I just wanted to be able to direct the State Commission on Judicial Conduct to the video itself, that they could see exactly what took place. It's no longer what I thought I saw. It's no longer what others thought that they saw. It's right here. Now, I do have my commentary in this video, but nevertheless, if you ignore my commentary, you can hear exactly what took place. You can see Daryl Weinman, the attorney, whining and complaining about, we can't have this hearing online. You can hear Mr. Champagne protesting and saying, wait a minute, I need to be protected, because when you conduct a hearing in secret, a star chamber type of hearing, bad things happen, and I want to have a trial that is available to the public, that the public can witness. We saw attorney Daryl Weinman, Weinman, actually say that she was afraid of her safety. And Mr. Champagne said, I'm afraid of my safety too, by not being able to have the public observe what's going on. First off, I think that Ms. Weinman's complaint was really a fatuous complaint. I would love to see the police reports that she filed saying, I need some protection here, police officers, because my safety is being threatened. her safety was not being threatened to the best of my knowledge. What was being threatened was her reputation. That she likes to have this nice reputation of as being this great, wonderful attorney, but when she's doing things that are contrary to high ethical standards and practices, we need to file complaints against these types of attorneys. We need to file them with the bar, and I will be filing a complaint against her with the bar as well. But one of the witnesses I put down was Brandon Johnson. Now, there were many other witnesses that actually saw what took place here. And I've been surprised at how many people have actually said, hey, I saw what happened. I saw what happened. During the course of that hearing with Mr. Champagne, there were about 60 people watching and 60 people that were still on board when Judge Catherine Mauzy cut the live stream feed and proceeded to go to a Star Chamber hearing against Mr. Champagne because Miss Daryl Weinman, attorney Daryl Weinman, purportedly was afraid of her safety. So again, what did this person witness? Well, he witnessed the same thing I did. And what I did is I put a second video up of the event of what took place with a different commentary, but the video once again is up there. So they can watch the first video or they can watch the second video. The second video actually invoked a lot of the background and legal standards, the public right to access to remote hearings during the COVID-19 pandemic, as issued by the Office of Court Administration for the state of Texas. I also put down a YouTube link to my phone calls because when Judge Catherine Mauzy deprived the public of their right of access to this hearing, I called up the 419th District Court. I left a message there and to let them know that what was going on was contrary to our Texas state constitution, also contrary to the background and legal standards. They were conducting a Star Chamber, and that is something that should not be conducted. The date of the alleged misconduct of the judge, and of course everything is alleged right now, October the 28th, 2021. Now the factual details of my complaint. I took a little bit of time to do this, but I did say that Judge Catherine Mauzy deprived the public of their right of access to a family court hearing, thus violating Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution, which says all courts shall be open, as well as the background and legal standards, public right to access to remote hearings during the COVID-19 pandemic, and this right here, BALS-PRTAR-HDC-19P, that was just my abbreviation of this whole thing right here. I don't want to have to write this out again, so I just put it like that. I will reference it later on. Issued by the state of Texas, the Office of the Court of the Court Administration, and I also provided the link to where, if they wanted to see that, it is available online. In addition, Judge Mauzy deprived litigant Taran Champagne of his right to a public trial in violation of Article 1, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution. And once again, quoting from the Texas Constitution, I must have misspelled it, rights of accused in criminal prosecutions. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall have a speedy public trial by an impartial jury. Now, Mr. Champagne was not undergoing a criminal prosecution, but as I understand it, the same rights that are afforded to a criminal in a criminal prosecution are also afforded to litigants in a family law situation or a family lawless situation, because by and large there really is, it's just statutory stuff. And really, when it comes right down to it, in family law, oftentimes the Constitution gets thrown out the window and it becomes the wild, wild west. So furthermore, by placing attorney Daryl Weinman's safety over that of Mr. Champagne's, and conducting a Star Chamber hearing, I believe Judge Mauzy violated the following canons of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct. And once again, going with the alleged misconduct, I am just stating that I believe she violated these canons. The canons of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct actually help to guide judges in the way that they are supposed to act. So Canon 1, she violated by favoring attorney Daryl Weinman. Judge Mauzy failed to uphold the integrity and independence of the judiciary by giving preference to an officer of the court. An officer of the court who, by the way, was asking the judge to do something which she never should have asked, that violated the Constitution and, again, that document that I referenced. I believe she also violated Canon 2A by cutting the live stream in violation of the Texas Constitution and of the document above. Judge Mauzy failed to comply with the law and failed to act at all times in a manner that promotes confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. When you cut the public's access, the public's ability from monitoring their courts, everybody starts to wonder what is going on, what's happening, what are they hiding? And it undermines the public's confidence in the integrity and the impartiality of the judiciary. When star chambers take place, bad things happen. A little bit of sunlight acts as a great disinfectant, and a little bit of public hearing helps to ensure that bad conduct is not performed by judges. In fact, it is the public that acts as a bulwark against judicial injustice. Canon 3B2. By misinterpreting and misapplying Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution, Judge Mauzy failed to be faithful to the law or the Constitution and failed to maintain a professional competence in it. Judge Mauzy actually cited the open court doctrine and then gave it what I thought was a novel interpretation. Now, Judge Mauzy is a progressivist Democrat judge. That's what she said in her campaign last time. At least that's what I found online. She's progressivist. Maybe she wants to rewrite the Constitution. Maybe she wants to reinterpret the Constitution. In doing so, she's misinterpreting and misapplying Article 1, Section 13 of the Constitution. That's my belief, and that's what I am citing her as violating Canon 3B2. Canon 3B4, by disrespecting Mr. Champagne and the public and depriving them of their rights, Judge Mauzy treated them in an undignified manner simply to give preference to attorney Daryl Weinman. And anybody who saw what took place, they were shocked that Judge Mauzy chose to place Daryl Weinman's purported claim of safety above that of Mr. Champagne's. That is treating Mr. Champagne in a manner that I think is undignified. It's not treating him as a human being, as a person with equal rights. It's treating him as a person with fewer rights than attorney Daryl Weinman. And again, I believe that Daryl Weinman's claim to feeling her safety being threatened was a fatuous claim. I think she was more concerned about her reputation, and as she said, about having her name being smeared in the public. Canon 3B5, by deferring to Daryl Weinman and depriving Mr. Champagne of his right to safety from a star chamber proceeding, Judge Mauzy did not perform her judicial duties without bias or prejudice. Finally, my commentary here. It is time for the State Commission on Judicial Conduct to act swiftly and decisively to stop this abuse by judges. And by abuse, I'm referring to conducting the star chambers. Failure of the Commission to act in such a manner emboldens judges such as Catherine Mauzy to hold star chamber proceedings hidden from the purview of the public in violation of the Texas Constitution and the directive provided by the Office of the Court Administration of the State of Texas. We cannot continue to permit judges to engage in conduct which undermines the integrity of the judiciary, and we cannot allow judges to continue to act in a manner that undermines the public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. So that is my complaint, the basis of my complaint. If anybody wants to use something similar to that, they can. This is just what I've tried to put down very quickly so that I had the Constitution behind me, I had the document about the backgrounds and legal standards, and I also used the Code of Judicial Conduct. So I had those three different documents, and I also provided, again, links to my YouTube thing. You don't have to do this. Usually once you submit a complaint, you will get notification via email that your complaint was received, and then you can also submit additional documentation. I'm just doing this right here and going to submit it like this. I may add something later on afterwards to it. How did you hear about the State Commission on Judicial Conduct? If I'm the one who told you about the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, check other and put my name down there. Let them know that at least I'm having a little bit of influence somewhere. Confidentiality and authorization. I do not wish to maintain my confidentiality. I want them to know that I was the one that did this. Anyway, here's my full name, and being as now it's just turned after midnight a little bit, so I'm going to change that to 11/4/2021. Click I am not a robot, and then submit it. Now I've got to fill in some of the other details up on top, my address, my name, and everything. But once you do that, once again, it will send you an email to your email address that yes, they have received your complaint and it's been assigned a number. So that's all there is to it. I mean, doing something like this does not take that long. Yes, it probably takes maybe close to an hour, depending upon how thorough you want to be and stuff like that. But basically, as you see this, there's just not a whole lot to put into it. This opens up a complaint against the judge, Judge Catherine Mauzy. Now, I'm not the only one that has filed a complaint against Catherine Mauzy. I actually wanted to make sure that I had some other stuff here, so I put down Judge Catherine Mauzy and Attorney Daryl Weinman agree to conduct a Star Chamber hearing. This is one of the links that I submitted into my complaint. That Judge Catherine Mauzy blatantly disregards the public's right to access remote court hearings. Exactly what she did. I put that in there, that link as well. And then finally, the report corrupt judges like Catherine Mauzy, of the 419th Judicial District Court, Travis County, Texas. Because Catherine Mauzy did deprive not just Mr. Champagne, but the entire public. There were at least 60 of us watching, and she committed a deprivation of our rights. She violated our rights by cutting off the live stream YouTube feed. So anyway, I encourage you, if we are going to get this judiciary cleansed up, it's going to take a while. We're going to have to continually be writing these complaint forms to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And then later on during the year, usually what they do, they have a forum where they can gather to hear the testimony from people about how effective of a job that they're doing. Well, they aren't doing a very effective job, quite honestly, in my opinion. From what I've seen, a lot of times these things take a year and a half. It gets so frustrating to wait on them. And they usually just send you a denial. Very seldom do they actually do anything with these judges. Sometimes they do. We're surprised every time it happens. But we have to keep talking about this issue. The failure of the judiciary is the beginning of the downfall of society. When you can no longer trust the judiciary, you basically no longer have a society. And what we have right now is we have judges who act as if they are judge gods, as if they are tyrant gods, as if the law doesn't really apply except as the way that they want to make it apply. We don't have any idea what goes on in these family courts because the Constitution gets thrown out the window. We have to keep filing complaints against these judges. Our judiciary, in my opinion, is a mess. It is a hot mess. We need to do things that we can right now to help clean it up. We need to make sure that we do not pass on a wicked judicial system to our children and our grandchildren so that they too can be deprived of their rights, so that they too can be untrusting of their government. We should be able to trust the judiciary, not always have to wonder what will they do to us next because of the relationships with their attorney friends or whatever. Anyway, that's it. So this is how you file a complaint with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. I would invite you, if you would like to, watch this video, see what you think. And that would be a way that you too could participate in this complaint against Judge Catherine Mauzy of the 419th District Court in Travis County. Watch it. If you agree with it, go ahead and send in your complaint too. And you can say, hey, I witnessed this, but I witnessed this via a YouTube hearing, and this should be another reason that we should have public access to these YouTube hearings, because if apart from these YouTube hearings, apart from seeing them, we would not have known how bad Catherine Mauzy was, what she did to deprive Mr. Champagne and the public of their rights. We must have open courts. We also should have video and audio live streaming taking place, and the videos left up for more than just 1 second after the hearing's done. As you'll see with this one, they immediately cut the hearing, made it private, so the public had no way to go back and to monitor to see if the judge, what she was doing, was right or not. Anyway, that's it. I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you very much.